Hi you guys, and thank you so much for tuning into my channel. So today I'm so excited to do this review for you guys. That is with this amazing vacuum right here. This is by Laresar, and this is their self-emptying robot vacuum. Do you want to know what this is all about and what my real opinion is going to be? Stay tuned. All right, you guys. So again, I'm going to be reviewing this particular vacuum right here. The company did send me this for review. So thank you so much for sending me this amazing vacuum to show my viewers. I greatly do appreciate it. So you guys, the company got a hold of me. They asked if I'd be willing to show you guys the robot vacuum. And at the time, honestly, I already had the robot vacuum that I just already showed you guys. So I was just like, I don't need another one, but I happened just to go to their site to look and see what it was about because I saw something about self-cleaning. I'm like, self-cleaning? And when I saw everything that this is supposed to do, I was like, oh my gosh, it can be that smart. Like, technology is that advanced. Like, holy moly, I never knew what these little guys can actually do and how smart and intelligent they are. I'm a firm believer you get what you pay for in life. So this one is a little pricier than the other one, but you definitely get a whole lot more. There's precision, accuracy. There's so much more with this one, and I'm going to get into everything with you guys. So let's go ahead and learn how much this is. Currently, I will have everything linked down below. It is on Amazon. The list price is $579.99. It's currently on sale, $80 off, down to $499.89. And there's a little checkbox you can click to get an additional $80 off on top of that. Now, that's the current deal. They could change that. It could go a deeper discount. It could go a less discount. They can change that anytime. That's what it is currently. So if you definitely want to grab it with $180 off, everything again will be linked down below, and there's free shipping. This is an intelligent robot vacuum cleaner, and I'm so excited to introduce you to this. So let's go ahead and unbox it. Let's learn about it, and let's get this review going. Unpacking the box, you will find a user manual right about here. There also is a quick start guide. There's a QR code and it tells you how to do the app. There's also a warranty card. You have the dust collection charging base and then the robot vacuum cleaner. Once you remove those, underneath there is an extra filter screen, and that is right here. One is already installed in the vacuum, but they do give you an additional one. So when it's time to replace it, they already give it to you, and I will show you later how you install it, clean it, that kind of thing. There's also this little side brush. They give you a second side brush. So there's one again installed. Here is your replacement. So after removing that, there are 3 boxes underneath. Once you remove those, it is housing number 1. There are 10 different disposable cleaning cloths. This does go to the attachment for the mopping. Then there's also a second cleansing cloth. This one is reusable and washable. So after you use it, just wash it and you reuse it. There are 2. One of them is already installed onto the base. If you notice, there are like this right here that goes all the way down to this, and that just helps secure it onto here. With the disposable ones that's not on there, it just slaps on the top and you just pull it off. But this one, that does help keep everything all intact. And there is like a kind of Velcro type area on the 2 sides and on the whole bottom side. So if you just wanted to use the disposable one, you just put it right on there, attach it to it, use it, peel it off, throw it away. Or you can use this and peel it off, wash it, and then reuse it. And then in the last box, there are 4 of these bags. One of them is already installed into the dust cleaning department, but this is the size of the dusting bag. It is a very large size for this guy, and I've used mine for over a month, and I'm not even halfway filled with dust. So this is an amazing feature. I absolutely love that it cleans itself. You don't have to. You can set it to never do the cleaning thing, and you can just dump it yourself if you would like. But dumping it yourself, you're allowing all of that dirt, debris, pet hair, whatever is in there to still come out into the air. You're breathing it. It's getting back onto your floor, that kind of thing. Where with this, when it goes back to the charger, it sucks everything out, clean as heck. Okay, so it went hot tailing it to its charger because now it has completed itself. But I wanted to see what all it got.
Compartment with water tank has been removed.
Whoa. Are you serious? Hold on. Holy moly. Let's get this open. We can see all of this stuff, whoa, that it found. And now when it goes back, it's going to suck all of this into its own little chamber. Okay, so after the vacuum just sucked everything out, let's see what's in here now. Huh, it sucked it clean. There's nothing left in there. And another really neat thing that I like is on here, when you are pulling it out, you can close it, lift it up, toss this in the trash, and nothing's even going to escape out of the bag while you're walking to the trash can. I'm assuming if you really wanted to just reuse these, you can take them outdoors, dump everything out, and then reuse the bag if you so chose to, but they do sell the replacement bags on their website. And I've never seen anything like this, even in the old school upright bags that I would use growing up. I never saw something protect the hole so nothing comes out. So they even thought of that. So even pulling this out with it all collected, stop it, nothing's gonna come out. You have a little handle, take it to the trash and dump it. But when you do start to use this for the first time, make sure, open up your little thing, make sure this is pushed down all the way and it's in the appropriate spot for the vacuum. So in transit, it didn't like kind of push up and it's halfway. Make sure it's pushed down all the way secure for the first time when you go to use it. So then removing the plastic bag around the dust collection charging base, it has this little thing designed to where any extra slack of the cord, you can wrap it around and keeps it nice and organized out of the way. The front, there is the opening for the vacuum suction portal. There's also charging and dust sensors. This thing is loaded with sensors. There's sensors even on the back of the actual charger. So when it backs itself in, there's sensors on the actual dust collector so it can communicate. There's sensors to know when the bags need to be dumped. This is just an extremely intelligent, smart vacuum. And then when opening up the top, you have the preloaded already bag that you can replace at any given time. And then there's this really neat tool on the side. So when you are cleaning like the rollers or anything like that, you do have a little brush on one end and then there's an actual knife on the other. That makes it super, super convenient when you're at least like, you know, if you're pulling hair off of the roller, you slide it right off, it cuts it right off and you pull it right out and it makes it super, super easy and hassle-free. So then unwrapping the vacuum, this is what it looks like. It is nice and large, but it looks super sleek. It does have all of the different bumpers for, you know, the sensors. There's actual infrared sensors along the whole side, in the front, in the back. There is a reset button right over here. You can put something in this little hole if you have to reset it. I've never had to do that. There is the on and off button right here. And then there's the home button. So if you ever do see this mobbing through your house and it's the home button's lit up, it's going home. That's what it's doing. It's minding its business, going to its charger. But I absolutely love how intelligent this is. This right here, it has an LDS navigation. They call it the LiDAR, I believe, and that's where the whole little technology is, and it's the eye to do the whole 360 view, and it maps your stuff out so accurately. Actually generates maps 2 times faster than any other mapping technology. The vacuum has a 3000 PA suction. There's cliff sensors, drop sensors. There's just so much stuff on here. Here's the little side brush and where it goes. So when you replace it, you just unscrew the screw that is right underneath. You just remove that screw right there, put the other one on, screw it back on, and you are good to go. It has wall following sensors, so it'll follow right against your wall, so it'll stay parallel. On the bottom, you will see the roller bristles right here. So you do have a little roller right here, and you have the 2 really large wheels. And if you are gonna go over like thick carpet, thick rugs, thresholds, know that this thing can definitely mob through a whole lot of stuff because that's how tall it can go. So it'll mob through any big thresholds, anything like that. And I love the auto setting because if it is going from a flat surface to a carpeted surface, it'll actually adjust the suction on auto. So it'll go from standard to higher powered when it's going from one level to the other. I like that. Again, it's super, super smart. So going back to the dustbin is right here. This is also the water reservoir. That's why you can kind of see a little bit of water condensation because I had just used the mop setting for you guys. But to do this, there's a little thing right here that you just press down. See that? Go down. When you push that down, it releases the bin and you just pull this straight.
One dust compartment with water tank has been removed.
It's been removed. Then the dust bin, this is how it looks. You have the filter there, so you just lift this up, pull this straight up, and then you have access to the inside of the dust bin. You do put this back in. You have to press the button down that pushes that thing down on the top right there. And then you just slide it right in with the push down, release it.
2-in-1 dust compartment with water tank has been installed.
it's installed, and it tells you that it is installed, so you know what you did was correct. Okay, so now that we have unboxed everything and we have everything out, let's go ahead and get this charged. It'll start charging, and then we can start downloading the app. So you need to find a spot in your house that will have enough space for it to get by on a little bit on both sides so it can navigate back to its home base. Make sure there's no obstacles on a little on the right, the left, or the front of it. Pick an area that would be good, that's not going to be in the way, because that's where it's going to stay. Every time it needs to go recharge, it needs to go back to its home base, so don't move the home base around. You'll probably confuse it. Leave it in one specific area. So I found one spot in my house that I really, really wanted my other one to go to, but it could never find its way back there, so I had to put it in a different area. So when you do plug it in, you do have the indicator lights that light up. You do have one for fill up. If it says fill up, then that means that the bag is full. So I really like that it does have a sensor even to tell you when the bag is full. There's a bright flashing light that means it's collecting dust. So when it goes back home, it's kind of neat because it kind of gives you like a warning. It's like, woo, woo. That's the loudest thing that this actual device or machine does, is collect the dust. It's the loudest thing that it does, but it gives you that little warning, and I like that. But it'll tell you if it's dust collecting, and then there's a battery indicator light, and if it's charging. So I plugged it in, kind of just pushed it up against the little sensor, and it started charging, and I left it alone and then started doing the app. Downloading the app was super simple. There is a QR code reader here, and there is one on the back of this manual as well. So you just scan the QR code reader, it goes right to it. You open it up. When you first click it for the very first time, you're gonna need to log in and register. You enter in your email address, it'll send you an actual verification code. You put that verification code in, put in a password, you click on the L6 Pro. All you need to do is connect by Bluetooth and your Wi-Fi so you can communicate for the first time. This does not have a remote control, so you do need to download the app to control it. Once you do connect to this particular device, it might have you do an update. Mine did have me just do a quick update first. So then for the first time use, what I suggest is going through your house and kind of picking things up. Don't have any obstacles. Basically allow it to scan the real perimeter of your house. The very first time that I did it, I took like my big old like TV stand and I stuck it in the middle of another room. And as it was kind of going through the rooms, it noticed that. So when it went back to that room, it thought there was an object there and it went around that little square. So I was like, okay, that's not right. So I had to reset it, and I went and just kind of like picked everything up, let it go through everywhere that I wanted it to go. I picked up my dog's water bowl, her food bowls. I let it go everywhere. And then I went through and set my parameters, my walls, my virtual walls, my zones, and all of that. So for the first time, just let it do its thing so we can get a complete map, and it's a thorough map too. Once it has completed, it'll have your whole map on your app. I love the way that the map looks. Once it mapped out the house, I'm like, oh my gosh, that actually looks like my house. Where the other one, it never looked like my house. Sometimes it would go and get confused and go over itself, and like the map was like, oh, and I'm like, what in the world is this? Like, how do you even know what you're doing? So this one, it has no issues whatsoever. It is super intelligent. So once you have everything all set, it's done its first parameter. Now on the actual app homepage. On the top right, looks like a little pin icon. It has the third-party controls. That's where if you have an Alexa or Google Assistant, you can link it that way and control it that way. I don't have listening devices in my house, so I don't use those, but you do have that option if you would like to. Going back to the main home page, you do have your full map that shows right in the top. It'll say the status, so if it's fully charged, halfway charged, if it's doing a cleaning. There is a water level setting. There's a mop only setting, and again, that's used if you are mopping. It knows that it has that attachment, and then that'll illuminate. If not, you can't do anything with that button. On the right hand side, there's area. That is where the fun begins, because that's where you can actually go through and do zones or walls. So like, for example, my dog's water and food bowl, my other vacuum wasn't this smart, and it would constantly just keep bumping up into it. knocking her water all over the place. I would always have a mess to clean up afterwards. So then I would have to put something in front of it, and then it's not cleaning like the whole area because there's something, you know, in front of it. So with this one, I picked everything up so it knew to go in that little crevice, but then I drew a wall and it doesn't even go there. It acts like nothing is there. And it's just so smart how it just goes and just turns right around and keeps going. Like it doesn't even attempt to go that way. So when you add the walls or the zones, it knows not to go there. Virtual walls, anything you want to do. I just like that you have the control of where you want it to go versus not. You can close off rooms like my recording room. Once it started to see that there was something there because I left the door open one time, I put a line there and now it won't ever go there. So it doesn't matter if my door's open or closed, it will never come into this room. And I absolutely love that. So you can do all of that. There's partition editing. So there you can merge rooms, you can divide rooms, you can rename your rooms and all of that on your map. And it also will store up to 5 different maps. So if you have a multi-level house or a business, you can store up to 5 different maps in one app. Underneath that, you do have, there's 3 little sections will tell you like the square footage of the area that it had cleaned, the time that it took to clean it, and then how much battery life you do have on the device at any time. Underneath that is where it has the pin and go. Pin and go would be like if you just want to basically pin and go. Like let's just say you had clean up an aisle kitchen and you spilled something and you want it just to go to a specific spot, not the whole entire kitchen. You can just pin that area where you have like your spillage and then it'll go and it'll just clean that whole area and then just go back to the charger and it's done. Okay, so I took like one of my outdoor rugs and I brushed it off. If you can see all of the crap on the floor, I literally like brushed off my outdoor rug inside to get a mess. So you can see, I'm gonna have it come and do a spot clean so you can see how that works and then how well it'll clean up like all of that little dirt and debris. I'm gonna try to put a little bit more down there, but we'll see how it does.
Cleanup completed. Returning to the dock to charge.
So it went around just that one specific area, basically in the very dead center of the room. There are a few little tiny pieces right here, but pretty much everything else is gone. It sucked everything up. It did an amazing job. There's a zone. So if you just wanted to go and just vacuum or clean a specific zone, that's where you can tell it which zone to go to. And then there's room. So for example, I absolutely love this setting. I use this all the time. My main foot traffic in the house with shoes on is my entryway and hallway area and kitchen. Everywhere else, normally there's no shoes on. We don't go there. So the hallway and the entryway, I named just hallway altogether. So I love that if I see stuff in the floor, I can just tell it hallway. It'll go to the hallway and go home. If I say hallway and kitchen, it'll do those. If I say hallway, kitchen, and bathroom, it'll do those and go home. It won't do the whole thing. And then you have the auto setting and it'll just go through every single room, clean everything and go home when it's done. Underneath that, you do have dock. So at any given time, if you wanted just to send it home, you click that dock button, it'll go home and start charging. You do have start. So anything you wanted it to do, if you hit zone, if you hit the rooms, you hit start and it'll start cleaning. There's suction. Suction, you can choose between quiet, standard, strong, max, and that's how you can tell it how much suction. And with those, it's not even all that loud. Right now though, I do have it on quiet mode. So this is the quietest setting that it will do. Right now I do have it on standard. Right now I have it on strong. And right now it is on powerful, the highest, powerful or max, the highest setting is what it's on right now. Under more, that's where you can do a timer. And it's really neat with the timer because you can actually go through and schedule if you wanted to do sweep only, mop only, sweep and mop. You can tell it which suction you want it to go through, which water setting if you're using the mop setting, and the cleaning position if you wanted to just do specific rooms or the entire house, and you can schedule it. And I really like that. So I did do a schedule to show you guys how it comes out so it can start talking because it's hard to hit start because as soon as you hit start, it starts responding. So I wouldn't have enough time to click over to start recording it coming out. So I did a schedule and it right on time came out and started doing what it needed to do.
Scheduled cleanup is starting.
Then there's the manual setting. If you want to just go ahead and control it manually, you can do that. There's a find robot. So if it's ever lost in your house and you're like, where in the hell is that thing at? You can go to find robot and it'll help you locate it in your house. There's change map. That's where I said in the beginning how I started to do it one way and I erased the whole map and had it redo it. There's the dust collecting treasure. This is where you can tell it if you want it to collect its dust after every time, after every 2 cleans, after every 3 cleans. Me personally, I just have it do it after it's done. So if it just does one room or it does my entire house, when it goes back, it sucks it out and cleans itself and it's good to go, ready for the next time it needs to do its job. Or not at all. If you don't want it to collect dust, you can tell it not to. There's voice and volume. That's where you can change the voice high to low and you can change the language. There's a do not disturb mode. You can turn that on and off. There's consumables and maintenance. That's where you will see the filter life, the remaining edge brush life, and the remaining actual brush, the main brush life as well. So that is everything with the app and all of the different controls that you can actually do at your own fingertips. Okay, so here I'm going to have it do an actual full house cleaning. So it starts with going through the outside perimeter and then it fills in everything in between and will go room to room. I do have my tree up currently, so it does have that zone so it knows not to go in that area. But this is how it will completely go through and clean my entire house. I also really like how it will actually kind of go into the next room a hair. So it's not just going straight down the hallway. It kind of goes in a little bit. So if anything is pushed away, it will grab that. And then going into the bathroom, it has no problem going right over the bathroom rug. I went ahead and stopped it just so you can see what it did gather for this, and I thought my house was clean.
Charging.
And this is the final outcome. It literally sucks every little nook and cranny. It gets all of the dirt and debris off of the floor. It does an amazing job vacuuming, and you can see here's the outcome of a nice clean house. So I love how intelligent it is. My other vacuum, for example, if I had to go to my closet area, because where the vacuum is now, the charger is in the far corner of my living room. So it needs to go through the living room, down the hallway, into the master, and into the closet area. And then when it's done, it needs to go all the way back. So the other vacuum, it never really could find its way home. I would have to find it, help it, or I had to move the actual charger to a different spot so it could find it. But it never could go from my closet straight to the base. This guy has no problems. So I literally just scheduled go to closet only, and it just boom right down, and it doesn't go and like start hitting walls and like trying to figure. No, it like walks down the middle, or I guess it rolls down the middle like a human would walk down the middle of my hallway. It goes right through the middle of my living room. It doesn't go like wall to wall to wall to wall. It's just super intelligent. And again, it went straight to my closet. It vacuumed the whole entire room, and then it came back, did its little dusting collection, and it was good to go. The accuracy is just like on the top of the charts. I never knew that something could be so intelligent and something so little. Like, I'm super impressed with this guy. Whenever this is just mobbing through, if you want to stop it or pause it at any time, you just hit the button and it'll pause it.
Mop is suspended. Please place it on a level surface to start.
It's super smart. It knows it's elevated. It's like, put me back down. Also, if it's doing a whole clean and it happens just to run low on the battery and it needs to recharge, it'll stop where it's at, go recharge, go back to where it stopped, finish its whole little session. It says it will go up to 200 minutes on a single charge, covers up to 2,000 square feet. I love that you can do the restricted areas, the virtual walls, and like right now I have my Christmas tree up and I'm like, oh great, what am I gonna do with that? I don't want it to knock it over. So I went, set a zone, put a zone, named it Christmas tree. It does not go anywhere in that entire area. And then when I'm done with my Christmas tree and pack it away, I can take that zone off. I can just delete it and then it'll go back to start doing that whole entire room in its entirety like it was doing before. So I really, really do love that. The mopping setting is the only thing that I know that I wouldn't really use to begin with. We have wooden floors and they're like the cheapest floors. When we bought our house, we were literally balling on a budget. So we went with the cheapest route possible. So any water on our floors is not really good for them. So I'm really, really particular with how I mop. I don't want a whole lot of water on them. And I use like cleaning products when I mop. I don't just use regular water. They prefer you to just use water in this tank. I don't know how much of a clean you get with just putting water on the floor. So again, I wouldn't personally use that. I do like that it does have that option if you want to use it. And again, you just install it on this right here. So once you put this on, see how it goes it goes down like that. So when you go to install it, number one, you remove the water tank.
2-in-1 dust compartment with water tank has been removed.
There's this right here. You remove this little flap and then you fill it up with water. And then the water actually goes in its own reservoir that kind of runs in front of the dust bin. At first I thought the water was going in there and I'm like, ooh, that's gonna be like muddy. I didn't know how that was gonna work. No, there's two different things going on in here. There's just the dust bin and then there's the water reservoir, which are completely different from each other. So you fill it up with water. You take this right here and it goes like this. So this right here goes lined up with that. You just slide it in, locks into place. Once it locks into place, you put this back in. So press the button back down, stick this in, and now
2-in-1 dust compartment with water tank has been installed. Entering mopping mode.
Entering mopping mode. So now it's in mopping mode. It knows that this attachment is installed, so it knows that it's going to be mopping at some point. If you want it to mop, if you want it to do both, if you wanted to just sweep only, whichever, it is at least in mopping mode currently. To remove it, you just remove the thing.
Exiting mopping mode.
Exiting mopping mode. The spot here and here. You just push these in both at the same time and then it just releases from that part to this and then you just put this back in, push the button, slide it in. And it's not in mopping mode anymore because it knows this part is not installed. How? This little tiny thing, it knows, but again, this thing is super, super intelligent. So that doesn't surprise me one bit. So when I was using the water setting, I first was doing it at medium level and it was kind of leaving just like 3 little streaks of water. So I'm like, is it not dispensing enough water? And then I went to powerful and then it kind of did a little bit more. So you can choose how much water is coming out, low, medium to high. And then I went to just mop only just to see what that did. And then it started going over like my rugs and my floor together. And I felt the rug and I was like, ooh, you're wet. So mop only really means mop only. If you're in the auto setting, then it knows to mop on the flat surface versus a rug or a carpet. So it'll vacuum on the other and then it'll mop on the one. But if you just do mop only, it's really mopping only. So learn from my mistakes. This is why I use these products for so long, so I can know everything to know to tell you guys. So you can learn from my either good experiences or bad experiences, either way. I go to the extent to make sure I know what I'm doing before I tell you guys. So again, that for the mopping setting, to me, it just didn't work very, very well, but I was already hesitant because I don't want just to put water on my floor. I thought that maybe there wasn't enough water, but there's still, you can see there's still plenty of water, so it didn't use a whole lot. That looks like almost how much I put in there. I did put it to the highest level. You can tell obviously it's doing a little something on my floor, but this is not even like all the way like really wet. So I don't know if I'm doing this part wrong, but it left a few little wet streaks if you can see that. So that was the mopping setting. Again, I like the fact that it's there if you want to use both, but for me personally, in this particular house anyway, I'm only going to be using the sweeping, the vacuum suction modes. So that's just perfectly fine for me, and I still feel that it's well worth it even if you don't utilize the mopping setting, because it's super, super smart. The technology that it has is just insane. I love that it collects the dust itself. I love that it keeps them in these bags. I even love that they even thought just to, keep this little cover closed when you're dispensing it, so no dirt, no debris, no pet hair, nothing is going to come back out to get on your floor, to breathe into your lungs, or anything like that. So I just think this is definitely worth it to spend a little bit more, because you get a lot more in return. Again, you always get what you pay for. So now I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick show you how to do maintenance on cleaning. So if you are interested on how to clean it, I will show you how I go through and clean everything. To clean the filter, this right here, or if you want to replace it, this right here removes. So you pop this up, which is a little dusty, so I'm gonna go clean it. And then here is another filter down in here. Inside of the dust compartment is this tool that's in there that you can use. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of lightly dust through this. You can see the difference. So I'm just gonna take like a little damp paper towel and just kind of wipe this down. Now I'm gonna go ahead and show you this part right here. When I do have it vacuum in my vanity area on top of the carpet, I know it's getting a lot of my hair because that's where I do my hair every day. So I like to every so often come in and remove this and take the hair out. Again, it's all about the longevity. So it just removes out just like this, and you can see how nice the hair is, nicely wrapped on here. But this one actually has a part here with blade. This is absolutely amazing. It just cuts right off. And now there's no hair. This little end goes inside of the hole, and then you just push it in, put the top on, push these in, lock it into place. And if you tell those little spots that are up, it's because it goes around the metal brackets on here to hold the wheel in. And then they also want you to go through once a week and clean the indicator lights just to dust them off. For the actual dust collection, that one they would like you to go once a month. You just clean the infrared lens and the charging dust collection sensor head. You wipe it gently with a dry towel. And then also once a month, they want you to clean the filter screen on the fan that's below the dust bag. And that one too, you just wipe it gently with a clean, dry cloth. So it's very simple. Once a month, clean the little sensors and the dusting area in the bin. And then once a week, just wipe the sensors down on the machine, on the actual vacuum, so everything works 100%. So that is everything that I have to tell you about this extremely smart robot vacuum. Again, I'm super, super thrilled with this particular product and how well it performs. No issues whatsoever. It is just amazing. This is the only one that I'm going to be using. I do not use my upright. I never took my upright out after using the other one. These vacuums, just in general, with them being the robot vacuums and so far down to the ground and everything that it can do, it's just so much easier because it's sucking in and not blowing out where like a normal upright vacuum. My main thing was with dog hair, pet hair on wooden floors, things just fly around and move and groove. So whenever I was cleaning before with that, when I would go next to something, the air would like push it away, and it's like, what's the point? You're supposed to be sucking it in. So with this, it doesn't have the air push away. It only sucks in. And then with these guys here, it'll also push things in to get it inside to suck it up as well. So with pet hair or any little tiny like dirt debris, this thing just works amazing because it doesn't just push it around and hide it. It literally sucks it up and removes it. So this thing is just amazing. So you guys, that is everything that I have to say and show for this amazing vacuum. Again, this is just super, super smart. I never knew the advancement in the technology with these until I got my hands on this, and oh, I think it is definitely worth it. Again, they will all be linked down below. If you have one of these, if you had your eye on them, definitely let me know. Your positive interaction means the world, and I greatly do appreciate it, as I greatly appreciate every single one of you guys. So until next time, you know that drill. Keep a smile on that gorgeous face of yours, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Crafty crew, out.